Hey guys, and welcome back to the Three Strands Podcast. My name is Kayla.
And my name is Terrence.
So, Three Strands Podcast, for those of you who do not know, is a podcast where my husband and I talk about just about everything. So you may find some parenthood, some marriage, some business stuff, just, whatever we decide to talk about for the week. So, with that being said, well, actually, before I get into that, make sure you watch our first episode, which is also here on YouTube. If you are just listening to us, we do record this live. Well, not really live, but we do record and post on YouTube so that you can actually watch us record the podcast. Watching it live is a lot more entertaining. I promise you'll see me trying to quiet this 2-month-old giant that we have. And then you'll probably hear my daughter in the background listening to whatever video she's watching. But anywho,
it's a family affair over here.
Yeah, and we don't try to hide it because, I mean, whatever. So today we wanted to talk about kind of 2020 and what we've learned, and then what we're looking forward to for 2021. So I know some people are like, oh, every year people are like, oh, this is my year. A lot of people are saying, we should be a little more humble for 2021, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I believe that your year is going to be whatever you make it. So let's start with, I guess let's talk about what did you learn in 2020. You want me to go first, since going first is a problem for you? Do you want me to go first?
I mean, I can jump it off. That's no issue. What did I learn in 2020? I learned the importance of pivoting and adapting. And so, of course, 2020 was very hard for a lot of small business owners. Serial entrepreneur, my wife as well.
Okay.
And it was difficult, man, because the pandemic had hindered a lot for us. We had just signed,
AKA took a lot of money.
Had just signed a deal to do music festivals in the city of Spartanburg at Burnett Park. We had 8 music festivals planned, bringing down mainstream artists and providing the opportunity for independent artists to gain exposure by opening up for those mainstream artists. And also, the festival is called Synergy Music Series, and it stands for bringing together people of different ethnicities, backgrounds, races into one atmosphere based off of the gender appreciation of music. And so it was our way of bringing cohesion into the Spartanburg community using music and arts. And when we were about to have our first concert, K. Michelle was coming down, and COVID hit. Right, I know. COVID hit, and we had to postpone that festival. And then it stayed around longer and longer and longer. And we had to cancel everything, man. So we are hoping that summer or fall we can throw some festivals again. But we're talking about crowds of 2,000 people and up. So the entertainment industry has been hit hard, and so we learned how to pivot. We had to find different ways to bring in revenue. We actually ended up doubling our revenue from 2019 and 2020.
Listening,
and so it's just explaining why pivoting is so important, right? Pivoting is when you are faced with a situation, you make a turn or a move to grow or survive in a different direction, and we found different avenues, and so that's what I learned in 2020, to pivot and adapt. I know that was long, but
it was. It's okay. Okay, so what did I learn in 2020? So my biggest thing, well, 2 things, I guess. One of the biggest things I've learned is that I don't necessarily have to do everything by myself. And I know some of y'all are like, well, duh, you're married and whatever, but I've always been a very type A person. Everything has to be planned out. I have to know what's going on, when it's going to happen, who's going to be there. I've always been like that. So for me, especially as a mother, when COVID hit and we took our oldest child out of school, well, first of all, we took him out of school first. I decided to homeschool for that semester, and then found out we was pregnant with this one. I don't know if y'all can hear him growling, but he is like going in. Yeah, so took him out of school. I started homeschooling. We actually started vlogging around that time, I believe. And then I found out I was pregnant, and like everything just kind of stopped. This pregnancy was extremely hard, like physically. So it was a bunch of stuff around the house I couldn't do. I couldn't clean like I used to. I couldn't cook like I used to. Like everything was just totally different.
And you know your boy stepped up, you know, in the kitchen.
Can I finish my story?
You know, Chef Boyardee.
Can I finish
all the meals, great recipes. I mean, she loved every recipe I made. I'm trying
not to roll my eyes because they kept coming on me rolling my eyes.
2022, 2023.
No.
Restaurant.
No.
Coming.
No.
I'm gonna be the chef.
No.
When up?
Like I was saying. I would give him that though. He I think learned how much he actually loved cooking. And at first it was kind of weird because I felt useless because I really couldn't do nothing, even like playing with the kids like I wanted to and all of that stuff. You got something to say too? No? Okay. But yeah, so that was one of my things, just learning that it's okay to let other people do stuff. It's okay to like sit down and just, you know, rely on other people and trust that other people can do stuff, because he'll tell you, even though, you know, he's a great father, I've never questioned that ability. He would be like, oh, I want to take the kids to the zoo without me. No. No. If I'm not there, I feel like stuff is just not gonna be done right. So 2020 has taught me to just calm down, sit down somewhere, and just let other people do stuff. Now I still ain't letting nobody really babysit my kids, but that's another situation. Yeah, we'll work on that in 2021. So the other thing I would say is learning to say no and being okay with saying no. So I know like my personality sometimes may come off as if that's an easy thing, but it's really not for me. So I learned, like, and I guess it's kind of the same thing, but working with some clients, and I've had people reach out to me to do stuff, and it sometimes was stuff that I wanted to do and sometimes it wasn't, but just because I had the ability to do certain stuff, I felt like I was obligated to do it, especially if somebody knew I could do it. But I learned, like, I ain't gotta do everything, and on top of that, I ain't gotta do it for free, because my kids like to eat, and so does my husband. So
they can tell,
you know. So yeah, so I had to cut some ties with people. I had to cancel some contracts. I'm working on canceling one more. Hallelujah. Yeah, so those are my two biggest things as far as 2020. So now looking to 2021, what I wanted to do is, first of all, one of the things that I used to do a lot, I mean, I think I had 3 or 4 vision board parties one year.
Yeah, a bunch of
well, they kept asking.
Every month,
you know,
the vision board.
They kept asking. But one thing I like to do when I create my vision boards is I like to break down everything in categories. So sometimes you may see me have a vision board for just one specific thing, or it may be like one that covers everything. So what I wanted to do today was kind of go over some of our goals for 2021, and I have it broken down into categories. So don't be cheating.
You seen me. I'm trying to peek.
So I go first because he be asking me to tell him what we're gonna talk about ahead of time, but then he don't do no notes. He don't do nothing. And then be looking at me like,
it's all in here.
Well, you go first.
The memory bank.
Well, you go first.
You go first. I like to get inspired first. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with family. So for me, I have a lot of goals for our family actually, but I really have 3. Okay, so you don't have to do more than 2. At least 1, okay. But 2 would be great.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 3 though, just because, and I might probably take some of yours. It's okay. So my first one I said is tradition. So I come from a big family who, I mean, we got together all the time. We would do monthly like breakfast or whatever with all of our family. It would be like all 5 million of us in a little bitty house.
For real.
But but the food was good. Okay.
Yeah.
And the family could sing. And
they could sing.
So
the food was
always on point.
I love food.
I feel like we said food 700 times
we have
already. Okay, so yeah, that's one of my traditions. I want to create those memories for my kids. Even though we're in COVID, like I feel like there's still stuff we can do, like and I get that we also are kind of creating memories without thinking about it sometimes, because like the kids will ask Terrence to take them to the park, and their thing is, if they go to the park, they have to have a certain restaurant after the park. Like, and Terrence be so mad, but I'm like, it's okay. When they get 30, they're gonna remember this. Just spend a little $9 and get over it.
Okay. We're not saying the name of the restaurant.
Nope, because they're not sponsored
right now. So
right now.
Right now. Keyword.
Well, we will put that box right here in the middle if y'all decide to throw some on. And then the second thing is building generational wealth. I definitely want to start that early. And this is kind of going to tie into one of my other goals for the kids. But like, our kids, or at least our oldest two kids, are at the age now where I feel like we can kind of get an idea of what they like to do. Or at least now. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to change. But like my oldest, for example, is very good at math. He loves all things numbers, all things computers, video games, all of that stuff. So really taking the time to understand like what he likes and incorporating it and building those skills at an early age. My daughter likes to cook like her daddy, and I haven't decided if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
But
it's a great thing.
So like, she has a little toy kitchen that we intentionally put in our bedroom so that like she can cook us food. And we bought her a food truck for Christmas, and it's called Tasty Tories.
Tasty Tories, the best restaurant in town.
She's behind. I'm trying to see if she ain't paying no attention. But yeah, so I'm trying to kind of learn who they are, and then, you know, tie that into how we build for them in the future. Because what I don't want to do is say, oh well, I'm into marketing and he's into music, that's what y'all have to do, because that's all that we're going to leave y'all. So I want to be able to build something for them that they can kind of just take it to wherever they want to take it to. I'm gonna stop there because I feel like
that was good. You took a lot of mine right now. A lot of mine. One is quality time, which is really good. It dives into the traditions that Caleb mentioned. I mean, I want our family to spend a lot of time together in quality moments. 2020 caused a lot of moments in which we couldn't travel because of safety concerns, and we got small kids. So I want to do a lot of traveling. I want to expose them to the world. I went to Africa when I was in 2013 when we was engaged, right before we got married.
I've had to plan that by myself.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. We went to Uganda and Zimbabwe. Y'all hear California in the background? Went to Uganda and Zimbabwe for 2 weeks, and I mean that experience was life-changing, and it showed me this big world that we live in instead of the limited perspective for the United States of America. It showed me poverty on a different level. It showed me love and appreciation and faith on a different level. Because people would literally walk 5 to 10 miles to the closest church to praise and worship. Walking barefoot with no shoes on a dirt road with rocks and spiders and all of these things that, you know, could have hurt them, but because of their faith, they stepped on and they marched on just to get to the temple to worship God. And it gave me true appreciation for life. And sometimes I just got to get in this quiet space and just reflect and remember that moment. So I want them to travel, spend a lot of quality time. I told Caleb, man, once I'm 29, she's 27, our kids are 5, 3, and 2 months. So when we travel, we traveling. We are traveling. I'm not talking to Atlanta or anything. I'm talking Bahamas, the islands, all of that. Second, she dived into it, generational wealth for the family. I mean, I don't purchase myself clothes or shoes. Not at all. Yeah. But I have a large insurance policy.
Huge.
And so if anything happened to me, y'all are seeing this.
Mine is big too.
Y'all are seeing this.
Mine is big
whole
too.
Life insurance.
Right. Our kids are covered.
So I forfeit what I can pay on clothes and shoes for that insurance policy. And that's a choice decision that I made for the betterment of my family in the future. if anything happens to me, or when that time come for me. And so this a decision. I'm really big on wealth. So wealth for the family to be passed down intensely down to generations and generations to come. So that's my 2 for family.
Okay, so let's dive into personal. I guess I'll go first again. So my biggest personal goal is to just, like, I posted about this earlier this year, but to start doing stuff scared, because I hear so many people who tell me, like, oh, you're such an inspiration because you do X, Y, and Z. But what y'all don't know, I be talking myself out of so much stuff. Like, so much stuff. And he'd just be like, well, no, just, you know, go ahead and do it. No, it's been plenty canceled events. Like, all type of stuff that I could have been doing. There's a book I've been wanting to write for years. Which I finally realized why it's taking me so long to write it. But that's another story. Yeah, so it's just so much stuff that I want to do. So this year is going to be the year of me actually I'm just going to do it. Like, at this point, we're home. I would say we don't have nothing else to do, but that would be a lie. But, I mean, the time is now to do it. So that's my biggest goal. And then the second one is just to have more quiet time. Because I believe, like, here lately, especially since I've been pregnant, like, my time with God is my shower time. So, like, that's the time that he has revealed a lot of stuff to me, and I just want to get to a place where it's not just that. Like, I'm open enough to where I can hear him whenever, wherever. Even with 3 kids running around and the phone's ringing like crazy all day long and all of that stuff, I want to get to a place where I know how to mentally cut that off. Yeah, so those are my 2 biggest things.
Personal for myself, I think it's how can I put it?
Just say it, I'll clean it up.
Expectations. I think expectations is a word. To do work better on expectations of myself, because I push myself like 300, 400%, and to give my best at everything, and I place expectations onto myself. Like, I place expectations on myself, and if I don't achieve those expectations, it causes me to become depressed or worried or anxious or hurt. And so I got to look at and reflect on, okay, my purpose, my assignment that God has given me, and the expectations in this current season that I'm assigned in, and stick to those expectations that God expects from me in the season that I'm in, instead of putting so much baggage and weight on myself. So I got to do better at focusing on the assignment in the season, instead of, like Kayla said, saying yes to everything and putting so much baggage on myself. So personal, doing better with expectations and baggage. 2, it would be taking time to really find myself, right? I would say that a lot of times, you know, I look at other people and I find the good, and I try to, you know, take what's working and add it into my day-to-day routine, you know, which is nothing wrong with that, but you got to know who you are first and foremost, so you do not get sidetracked, or you don't try to copy someone else's steps and you go off track of your purpose. And so taking more time personally with God, to find my true self, and to be confident in who I am in Christ. And so, yeah, working on the expectations and my identity in Christ personally are my 2 goals personally.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to, like, not necessarily speed through this, but go a little faster, because I just thought of 2 more categories that we're gonna add.
See, I told y'all she just add things on the spot.
I mean, whatever. So the next one is gonna be business. It's so much I could say. I'm not even gonna say the two that I wrote. So for me,
Let me use you.
Man, one of my biggest ones would be to, I think, start the business that I've been told to start. I think when I started my original business, I just kind of did it because I was already getting paid for it, and it was just like, okay, like, if y'all want to pay me to do that, cool. But like I said, over the years, I've ran into some things that I felt like, well, you know, if he was doing what he told you to do in the first place, you wouldn't have to deal with certain things. So I think for me, it's just, again, listening and knowing, like, okay, this is the plan, and sticking to it. Because again, sometimes you can get sidetracked, and then with me being, you know, I work from home, really my business is like my sole income. Granted, I have like a little side gig, but yeah, whatever. My business is like, for the most part, my sole income, and I often make more in my business than I do on my little side gig, even though, you know, that's steady income. I think sometimes when you see clients coming for a certain thing, whether you like doing that thing or not, you're just like, okay, I deal with the stress that comes with it. But this year, I don't want to. I don't want to. I enjoy what I do, but I think that, and I was getting frustrated last year to the point where I was almost a little depressed, because I felt like, darn, everybody is using my title, like, but everybody didn't. Like, I'm still in school for this. Like, I've actually, you know, paid money to learn what I'm doing, and I just felt like anybody could wake up and be like, oh, I'm a X, Y, and Z today, and, you know, people flock to that. So this year is all about me focusing on me first and foremost, and what that means for me, and not necessarily worrying about, you know, every other 500 million person that decided to do that too. And then I talked about this in our last vlog. I don't know if it made it or not. I think it did. By the way, shameless plug, it'll be up there. Yeah, so that would be to be purposeful. So for me, I started a business in 2015 because I was pregnant with our first son, and I was working in the elementary school, and I seen that year, for some reason, God put me in a situation where I had the biggest class. I was in Packard. If y'all know anything about Packard, it's a lot of us, but the schools don't look like us necessarily. So I had the class that had the most boys. I had the biggest class, and then I had the class with the most African American boys, and I was pregnant with the boy. So I feel like everything they went through, I felt it. I mean, everything. I had students who lost their parents that year. I had students who actually lost a student. Was it that year or the next year after I quit? Yeah. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And not one student in particular that I kind of got close with. He would always talk, and mind you, this was 6th grader, so it wasn't like this was high school, but he would always kind of tell me how he hated that his mother wasn't able to, like, come to games and do all of this stuff. And I was like, okay, that's not gonna be me. Like, whatever Grayson decides to do, I'm gonna be there. So that's right. I quit that job and haven't looked back since. So from that day, I just decided, you know, I'm going to do something that allows me to spend that time with them, and that I can really be in charge of what it is that I want to do. So this year, I'm more focused on not necessarily, I guess our culture makes us think like you always have to grind and you always have to be working, and, you know, if you're not up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning, then you're not serious about your business. No. I'm not doing that this year. And it goes back to me being open to listen and, you know, really be strategic about what I'm doing. I want to build my business in a way that it works for me like it's supposed to. I don't want to feel like I have to constantly be available to everybody at all times for my business to work, because then that defeats the purpose of why I started in the first place. So that's my biggest thing, is just making sure that it's purposeful, and it's really doing what I started it to do in the first place.
That's good. That's good. Man, it's hard to top that. And which that's so on point, purposeful, and lunch. In business, I have this phrase called the 3 Ps. I mentioned it before in our last vlog.
I said it'll be up there.
Yeah, it'll be up there. So the 3 P's of business is basically profit, passion, and purpose. And so this is the best way I can break it down to you. I have a profit business, house installs, in which we do delivery and installations. Installs for appliances, electronics, and recreational equipment. So we have contracts with big box stores such as Best Buy, American Freight, Cons, etc. So that's the profit business. The profit business feeds the passion and the purpose. So I don't have to worry about paying my bills from my passion business, right? My passion business is Elephant Group. You see it on the shirt, Elephant Group. We're a full service entertainment company that fight for equity for rising stars in the industry. We've been blessed to help over 6 artists to land on the national Billboard charts and push them in their careers. And my purpose business is Bars Academy. That's BARS. It stands for branding, artistry, resources, and skills. And we use music, entrepreneurship, and multimedia to help at-risk youth build positive character development, artistic, and life skills, right? So in all of my profit, passion, and purpose businesses, I can say focus, to be more focused on the task at hand, because in life there's a lot of distractions, a lot of things that come our way that can distract us from the course. And my main man Siege today posted a video talking about in this season you got to be careful of allowing the same access to people. I mean, access to you to people in the past because of distractions. So this is a different season, and so I can't allow you to distract me right now. So think before you knock at the door, right? And so being focused, target vision, and because the best thing that some of us can do right now is become a resource to our community. Right, and right now our community as black people, look, we are fighting for still a lot of equity, and so becoming a resource, right, to help missions and programming and things come forth. So focus, and also long-term planning, and which is a key goal, because that long-term plan, that foresight can help take us to the next level, having those paid out steps to go forward with. So yeah, I know that was long-winded. I got kicked a couple times on the table.
I told y'all last time he was long-winded. He fought against it. Now y'all see. Anywho. All right, so let's go into our next category, which is marriage. So be thinking, cause we think. Okay, so for me, I think one of my biggest goals would be time management. As you can probably imagine, having 3 kids is difficult as far as trying to figure out how to give them what they need and still be us at the same time. So that's like goal number 1, I think. And then with Jackson being so young, and as you can see, every time y'all see me, I'm holding him unless I'm in a car. He is super duper, like if I hand him to Terrence right now, he's gonna wake up. Like, he is super attached to me. So figuring out how to maneuver that plus the other 2 with with all that we have going on, and still like making time for our marriage to be first and foremost, I think is one of the biggest goals. And I mean, definitely gonna take work. We started reading
relationship
goals. We finished that at the very beginning of the year. That was a good book. So now we're looking to find another one. So if y'all have any suggestions, please let us know. But yeah, so just making that time and making sure that, you know, we're still focusing on each other, even though we have so many other things going on. And then the second one would be to continue to learn each other, because like we said before, like I pretty much grew up, like we pretty much grew up together. We were kids when we first got married, so even when we first met. So understanding like each season is different, and like I get a new husband in every season, and taking the time.
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I get on.
I mean, I didn't know there was more of me.
Anywho, taking the time to understand like who he is in every season, and learning how to adjust to that, because like I don't think for him his love language has changed ever. Mine definitely has, but I don't even see that ever changing in life. Yeah, so taking time to make sure like I'm up to date on who he is now. Like he's like a computer, you gotta keep the software update.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. You see me look at you.
Marriage. Goals.
It's hilarious to me that every time you talk, you start moving your hands, and they can't even. I'm so glad y'all can't see what's going on down here.
Yeah, my hands doing a lot of work.
He's talking like, but see what had happened was.
Let's see. So marriage. Working on understanding. Communication.
Oh, that noise. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Communication, understanding, because like she said, seasons change in marriage, and communication is key to understand how, you know, each other is feeling. To understand love languages, communication is key, because we went through a season in which we had to guess.
Oh, Jesus.
Which we had to guess because we didn't understand how to communicate our love languages to each other. We were just becoming frustrated when they weren't met. So, but communication is key.
That's a whole other, y'all. Yeah, that's a whole podcast. But and then on top of that, like we grew up so differently. Like his love languages to me, or no, not necessarily. My love language to him was like, well, that's stupid. Why would you need? You know what I mean? So like taking time to understand, like put yourself in that other person's shoes was important for us, because.
That's big. That's big. Cause we can listen but not understand. And what's the point of listening when you do not try to comprehend or understand it, right? So understanding is really big, because in our 7 years of marriage, going on 8, we've been through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials, a lot of arguments, and things that could have been resolved if only we took time to communicate and understand each other better.
Except for our food arguments. Like that's just gonna always be here. Like that's for y'all's entertainment at this point.
Yeah. Always. I'm still up. Did I get soul food?
You did not. Yeah, you got it yesterday. Soul food-ish. We had wait.
See, I'm still waiting on my soul food.
Soul food-ish.
Okay. but yeah. Communication and understanding. So there's my 2 for marriage, to work on those things.
I'm gonna switch it up a bit. Give me one goal that you would have that you think I should implement, and I'm gonna give you one.
One goal?
Yeah, that's new for me too. That's why I sent it to you first.
On which? For family, personal, business,
just
marriage?
Me personally.
One goal for you.
I'll go first. So mine for him would be. I'm trying to think, how can I say it? Come
on, you've been meditating on this, huh?
No, I haven't. I just thought about it.
How easy she was.
No, I thought about it as
say, hey, I'm gonna go first.
Something else. I still ain't saying nothing.
See, but you prepared.
Anywho, see what I mean? Mine would be to, I guess, give himself more grace. I guess would be a way to say it. Because like you said, he does a lot of stuff, and believe it or not, like. The 3 businesses that he just named, it's really more than that. Like, if you stop and write down everything that he does, like, he does this for this person, doing this for this person, and this. Y'all would be surprised at how many people call me or him, or they call him, but then they call me to get to him, asking questions about business, and how do I get this grant? How do I do this? And how, like, that should be business number 4. Okay, we're going to work on that. But yeah, so giving himself grace, because he does give out a lot. But Terrence has always been the type of person, other than that time I met him with the watches, that was a different Terrence. But he has always been the type of person who, like you said, if he wants something, he has to go down a checklist in his head of other things that money could go to before it gets to him. And by then, he's just not going to get it. I can't tell you the last time Terrence bought himself clothes. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Or if he wants a certain type of food, he'll say, well, that's $6. Okay. But if I go here and buy, like, that's just, it's the most aggravating thing ever. But that's, like, just how he has always been. And again, it goes back to how he was brought up.
right.
And I think we talked about this somewhere else before, but, like, he has the mindset of, okay, I'm going to do everything I possibly can for us not to go backwards. And I think sometimes, again, he doesn't give himself enough credit that we are so far ahead of where we have been. And I mean so far. To the point that, I mean, we could do a bunch of stuff that we don't do, but again, we don't do it sometimes because he's in that mindset of, okay, if I do this and then this comes up, then what? So my biggest thing would be, like, to give himself grace. It's okay to eat what you want sometimes. It's okay, because I'm going to do it.
Oh.
Y'all know, every time y'all see me in the car, I'm like, well, I'm going to get something to eat.
She does.
So,
I think I'm hearing from the seafood angels right now.
But anyway, it is okay to eat what you want every now and again. He's not going to do it every day like I do because that's just not him.
Do it
and I don't see him doing it. But I'm busy, okay? I got children, I'm busy.
The kids think eating out is a necessity.
But you also have to know our kids too, though.
That's how it is.
But you also have to understand our kids. They are extremely picky. They're at an age where they don't eat but 3 things. I'm not making 7 different meals for all of us. He only likes seafood. I actually like beef and cow and all the other animals that folks like to kill. And my kids don't eat no meat. I'm not doing a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to go find some food somewhere and go sit down, okay? But anyway, back to my nice little comment. So yeah, that would be my biggest thing for him. You got enough time, do I need to keep talking?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback. I just want to piggyback on what she said about the statement of giving myself more grace, because I do wrestle with, just to be completely honest, am I driven by my fear of God, or am I driven by the fear of going broke? And I wrestle with that. Like, do I fear?
I would say it's a mix.
Do I fear God?
No, for real.
Or is it a fear of being broke again, right? Because we have come so far, and God has provided so much. And the thing is it the blessings that I'm holding on to that's keep me from doing certain things, or is it really God, right? Because I know in an instance He can snatch everything away, right? It can, just as it came, it can go. As quick as it comes, it can go.
I knew you was going to
As quick as it comes, it goes. Shout out to Reggie Rock,
I knew that
the homie.
I knew that. I felt it. Somebody you said it, like, oh, crap.
But yeah, so this is just an honest moment. One goal, I would say the same thing.
Oh no, if I want to eat, you know.
No, I'm not talking about like food or something. I'm talking about sharing grace, like on yourself when it comes to like motherhood, when it comes to being a wife. Just give yourself room and permission to grow. But I would say with you, giving yourself grace, not with buying whatever you want. I'm talking about motherhood, being a wife, being a woman, that it's just growing, that it takes time to grow, and understanding that there's going to be some mistakes made, and not to be too hard on yourself, but to really embrace the mistakes to learn from. So I think both of us will be sharing grace more.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so now I guess we're gonna go through each one of our kids and do them separately. But I will say, as far as like our kids overall, I think again time is important, because you know we're outnumbered, and it's easy for the baby to get all the attention, or one or the other to get more attention than the rest of them. So I think time is extremely important now more than ever, because I mean, it's not only are we having to adjust, but like you know, Grayson's the oldest and he's having to adjust and he's growing up and going to school and doing all these other things. And, you know, Tori's in a weird space because she's the middle child, but she's also the only girl. And so, yeah, that's, I think, needs to be said before all of the other stuff. So, I guess we'll start with Grayson. Jeez.
He knocked out. He snored just like his mama. Just like it.
Anywho. Okay. So my biggest goal for Grayson, whew, I think for him would be to, I don't know, because like in the last year he has, like, I've just seen his personality come out so much. Like, I don't really include a lot of them in the vlog just yet, just because that's the mama bear in me and I'm just protecting my kids. But Grayson is the goofiest child you could ever meet. And I think for me, one of my goals for him would be, I guess it's kind of a goal for myself, is to be more patient with him and more gentle, because Grayson is the type, he's a lot like his father. Like, although he's very goofy, he's a very emotional child. Like he literally feels everything. Like, he doesn't like being yelled at. It just works different for him. So my goal, I guess, for him specifically would be, I was gonna say something school related, but I feel like he's pretty well, like he's adjusted very well in school. I mean, as we both figured he would, but I don't know, it would just be to, like, I guess accept himself, because he is different. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he just has, I don't know, he's just so different. Like, until you witness it, it's hard to explain it. But he's just, I don't know, Grayson is just, it's like it's nobody I can compare Grayson to. Like, I think he has pieces of a lot of different people and a lot of different personalities. So more than anything, I want him to learn how to sit in that and be okay with, you know, who he is and all that comes with. Yeah, that would be my biggest goal for him, because he's just, like, I'm gonna just have to, like, I wish did I keep it? There was a clip of him, I had told him not to mess with the camera, as I always do. And he had snuck and was playing on the camera and heard somebody coming up the stairs and hid the camera. But, like, it was the funniest thing. Like, you can't even be mad, because it was just like, who at 5 years old comes up with this stuff? Like, he is hilarious. So it would just be to kind of sit in who he is and understand how to use that as, you know, as an advantage throughout life.
That's good. That's good. So Grayson, for me, a goal for him. Let's see.
I do want his speech to improve a little bit this year.
Yeah, it's gonna. As long as he, continue to be around the other kids. See, Grayson is pushed by kids his age.
Yeah,
100%. He pushes himself when he see other kids doing things or learning things or saying things. He picks up quicker on it. I remember the first time we went to the park, and he was scared to climb up the ladder. But by the time we left, because he was seeing all the kids do it, he finally pushed himself to get on the ladder and to keep going, and he finally did it. And the next time we went out there, he was a pro at it.
Now he climbs on everything.
He was a pro at it. And so he's one of the people who has to be pushed. Sometimes you gotta push or force people to greatness, right? And because they got potential, but life has held them back, or they just don't feel like going into full throttle.
Or in his case, he's just too goofy to sit down long enough to.
Or just don't understand, like, the potential that you have. And so, that's a goal. That's something I go for ourselves, I can say, with Grayson, is to continue to push him.
Yeah.
Because when he pushes, he improves.
Yeah.
And so, and that's our job as, his parents, to continue to push him to greater. So that'll be a goal I have for us with Grayson,
All right, so for Tori, I don't know if y'all saw her little head pop up right there. I have a lot of goals with Tori, and I guess it's because she is our only girl, so I feel more, I don't know, like, me and Tori's bond is different. So one of my goals for us together is just to continue to grow that. I know a lot of people, like, when I was pregnant with her, would be like, oh, y'all gonna bump heads all the time, and like that. Don't get me wrong, I'll be ready to lay hands sometimes, but but she's definitely her mother's child, and she, and really all of them, but she more specifically has caused me to kind of look at myself. Like, she'll do stuff and I get mad, and then like literally God would be like, so now you see how everybody else feel when you do it, and I'd be like, eesh, okay. Like, so for her, I don't know, like, it's just so much I could say. I guess my biggest thing for her would be to like continue to dream. And I know that she's just 3, but like, Tori is the type of person who her imagination is so big. Like, she's 3 and has already came up with 3 businesses. Like, her imagination is huge. So I want to make sure that I cultivate that within her. And then again, time, because she is a middle child, and you know, she was the baby for 3 years, and now you have this other little person who is, you know, doing all the things I was, you know, she was once doing. So that would be my biggest thing for her. And then making sure that she also understands, or I guess teaching her that really limitations too, because Tori is the type that, and I guess it's a good thing, but she's very what's a nice way of putting it? If she wants it, she wants it. Like, and don't care who don't want her to have it. Which can be a good thing, but I want to also teach her like how to use that in the proper way. Cause yeah, Tori can be, is she looking at me? She can be a little firecracker sometimes. So just kind of teaching her to find that balance, I guess, would be the biggest thing. And then just like making sure that she knows, like, you don't have to do certain stuff to get my attention. Like, everybody who knows me knows Tori's like, that's my baby. Like, Tori's my little best friend. So making sure that she knows all of that, and then, you know, just reaffirming the dreams that she does have, because who knows, maybe she will be a cooking doctor. I don't know, that's what she wants to be right now, but we'll, cooking doctor or teacher, I think she said, but we'll see. I don't know, we shall see.
Man, with Tori, what I see for us, of course, as she gets older, she gonna learn, you know, emotional intelligence, all of that. Yeah. She is a firecracker. I would say discipline. Like a goal to be more, you know, balanced with it, to be more on the same space when it comes to discipline. Because this girl, she's she can spaz out sometimes. Yeah. And we got 2 different methods of handling it. Yeah. Her spaz outs. And so, you know, just doing better with discipline with her. Yeah, that's what I can say with baby girl. Are we doing Jack? He just 2 months.
We're gonna do him. We're gonna do him too.
Goals?
Yes. So the video has not come out yet, but my goal for Jackson is, number 1, I want him to how can I? Okay, so put it this way, he's had some health challenges in the past 2 months, and my biggest thing is making sure that he's healthy. I mean, like, that's like, he's 2 months old. That's the only goal I have. Right. He eats perfectly fine. He sleeps good. Like, his health is the biggest thing at this point. So, yeah, that's easy. That's my only.
Talking about me, mama.
That's my only goal. And then also learning how to soothe himself. Okay, leave me alone. That's
so you're the food bank right now.
I'm the food bank. I'm the pacifier. I am the bed. I am the pillow. I am the cover. I am everything. Okay, everything.
So yeah, I pick back off Kayla. Yeah, healthy. I mean, that's it. Healthy. Making sure he's good. He's good to go. So doing what we can. Ask his parents to make sure he have everything he needs. Yeah. So yeah.
It's been a long 2 months. Long 2 months. just went to the doctor yesterday and gotta go back on Wednesday, but again, that's another podcast. Speaking of podcasts, so this is our last one. And I guess we could just do goals for the podcast, but I'm gonna do our YouTube in general, like overall. He is eating his finger. Okay. So for me, I think my whole goal with YouTube, granted it was a business move because, you know, my whole brand is like this mommy hood, you know, whatever. But I also really wanted to do YouTube because we were able, like the other night we was laying in bed with the kids and like watching some of our old videos. Y'all can search
Howes Family TV.
Yeah, Howes Family TV on YouTube.
HAWES Family TV.
Or our Facebook pages to see some of those old videos from what Grayson was probably a little bit older than him, but he was young. And just being able to like see Grayson's face as he sees himself as a baby, like it was the cutest thing. So I really want this channel to capture like all of us, you know what I mean? Like I don't want it to just be about business or just to be about relationships. Like I want our kids to be able to go back and look at themselves, but then also go back and look and be like, oh, mom and daddy said they wanted to build X, Y, and Z for us, and like look at what we have now. So I really want it to be kind of I don't know, like I want it to be something that they can have. Hopefully YouTube will be around forever. If not, we have a backup plan. But something that they can look back on, you know, as they get older, and just kind of see where we started versus where we are at that time.
Right. And it's good, man, to see the smiles on the kids' faces and even each other when we're watching. You know,
we be laughing. Like the last few videos we did, like we be in here cracking up.
I was so skinny. I be looking like, dang, what happened? Like, and Kayla, one thing about Kayla is she didn't tell me that I was gaining weight. You can look at me. If I'm going from 220 pounds to 280 pounds, somewhere around 230, 240, you should be able to look and see, oh man.
But if I can see it, why you can't see it?
Because I'm not looking like that.
Me either.
So I don't get it. She wait till I get to 270, and I say, baby, it look like I picked up some weight. So I ain't want to say anything, but
that's a lie. That's a lie.
You know, that's the first sentence. I ain't want to say anything, but yeah, man. So just looking back and being able to reflect on those memories are big. And so I'm looking forward to these, to continue vlogging, continue to do podcasts. Kayla's really taking the lead. This her idea, her baby. I mean, she do every day when she have a chance to sit down is watch vlogs and podcasts.
It's so therapeutic for me.
Every day.
It is. Like I just turned off one that I gotta go back and finish. But it is like so therapeutic for me to watch. I don't know, like it's just I'd rather watch that than TV. And he should not be complaining because my guilty pleasure on TV was either some kind of reality show where they cussing each other out or some show with somebody getting cut open. So I mean, he's really winning in the end. Like you're winning.
So continue to tune in, family. We appreciate y'all watching our vlogs and our podcasts, and get ready for future videos and excitement because we're bringing the heat. We coming hard, heavy, street. We getting gangster. You understand me? Gangster. So it's getting real, you know. This the Howes family. Kayla Moran, beautiful wife. The mind behind everything that you see. Everything that you see.
So it changed from the last podcast.
It did change. Y'all don't know, but I got punished.
He did not.
I got punished.
He did not.
Right, so here you go. But thank y'all, family, for tuning in to this podcast. Tune in to all the other vlogs and videos we have on our channel, and we look forward to talking to you next time.
Yeah, so make sure y'all subscribe if you want notifications of when we will be uploading again. Hit the bell button. It's beside the subscribe button, like right there.
It only takes like 1 second to subscribe.
And it's free. Like,
1 second.
it's free. I was gonna say you might be able to help put some money in our kids' food. It's okay. We ain't there yet, but it's coming. What was I talking about? Yeah, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. If you are only listening to us, make sure you like, rate, and do all of the other free things that you can do to help us out. Today is Wednesday as we're recording this. This will be up Thursday. Be on the lookout for our next vlog. No.
Well, we got a special content video coming next Tuesday.
It's already ready, y'all. I'm waiting on y'all. Okay. So yeah, that'll be up Tuesday, and then we will be back with another podcast on Thursday. If y'all have ideas of stuff that y'all want us to talk about, you know, whether it's some cultural stuff, marriage, parenthood. I almost said something about the girl with the glue on her head. I'm gonna let her live because they going in on her. She did just get a free surgery though. Anywho, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all keep up with us. We have a lot of ideas, but again, if y'all have something that y'all want us to cover, be sure to email us at the email address below. Follow us on Facebook. You can reach out to us there. We will respond as long as, you know, you come correct. And yeah, that's it. So y'all have a great day, and thank y'all for watching again.
All right, peace out.